roll. Using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, that's how we grow. Using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic who works miracles when logging in on the air.
and gives his co-host a heart attack every week.
How are you, my co-host?
I am good. Our guests are already here.
Beautiful.
They both are looking beautiful. Great way to celebrate International Women's Month. Both
That's what I'm talking about.
Incredible business women, and so we're going to have a great show today. And it's been a good week. How about yours? We'll talk.
Oh man. My week has been good. You know, I'm doing those SBA Navigator classes, and I'm loving them. You know, this week we did the certifications for small businesses, government certification. So we covered SBA 8A certification, WOSB, which is Woman-Owned Small Business Certification, Small Disadvantaged Business, and the Hub Zone. And we also did some City of LA and County of LA certifications also. So it was amazing. So it's amazing. I was just reading one of the compliments I was getting from one of my participants. You know, she said, I took a complicated subject and make it so simple and easy. She said, oh, thank you so much. I love it.
Yeah, because 8A is one of those areas that it is very complicated. I think only those that are actually got that certification are the only ones that really understand it.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
So
I was very happy to hear that, because yes, it was complicated, and I try to simplify it in such a way. I have the links to the site so they can log in, they can go get eligible to requirement information and all of that. So they were happy. And then we did the hub zones where they had to log in, where they had to input their zip code. Whoa. and it tells them if they're in a hub zone or not. So they like that. Oh, they love that. That was beautiful. Yeah. So I'm trying to get more and more businesses involved in that, because there are $500 billion in government procurement money sitting on the table that small businesses should be tapping into, but they're not. So, you know, I want to help them. And especially being, you know, this is Women History Month. I want to make sure as many female entrepreneurs get tapped into those contract opportunities as well. So that was my week, Crystal. So I know you had a more fantastic week.
Well, you know, my week is I'm in a tax season.
I know.
And I got clients that I have to be prepped and ready for April. So I've been working on that. And a lot of coaching clients this week. I had a lot of one-on-ones and reviewing accounting documentation and accounting system, you know, QuickBooks for them, or whichever platform they're using. So that was kind of it. Yesterday, we too, on the community briefing, we had a guest. Her name is Shannon Hopez. I think is her last name. She actually is the chief procurement officer for the city of Los Angeles.
Oh, really now?
So, you know, they're retiring LA Bavin.
Yes.
And they're bringing in the RAMP program. And so they're launching that. So that
hurts my heart, because, you know, I was very instrumental in helping to create Bavin, right? You know that. So in 1999, we are the ones who created that platform, that system, and we took it to the mayor. And first we took it to the general managers. There are 9 general managers in the city, right?
Okay.
So they were resistant. They didn't want to take on that platform, because they didn't want to share opportunities with small businesses. So we got the mayor involved, and
Okay.
the mayor whipped them upside their heads and forced them to use it. So they had to use it, and then they fell in love with it, and now they're graduating it. So
Well, I think that I think they're taking the core of what you guys did for the Baden,
yeah.
and I think they're expanding. So what they've done is they are bringing all I think there's right now there's 21 partners that now will be listing all of their procurement opportunities on that platform. So Cedars was the very first one. Cedar Sinai
Oh,
Hospital was
really?
one of the first one. The NFL is on there. There's
So they're bringing in private partners. So they're doing the public-private partnership, which is good.
yeah.
That's good.
So they're setting them up so that so you will find all of the opportunities in one platform. So they're reaching out to make sure that other private partners are also listed under there. I think CBS is just a number of them. So I think they just took what you guys did and
Uh-huh.
they're adding to it to make sure. And one of the things is trying to make sure that it's not cumbersome when it
Right.
comes to small businesses or entrepreneurs. And so I'll have to I think I shared the video with you, or if I didn't, I will.
Yeah, I don't think you did. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking
I'll
forward
share
to
it.
that.
It's on, of course, on our YouTube channel. But I think it's gonna benefit. But
Good.
the one thing is making sure, and we spoke. We wanted to make sure that because sometimes there's a lot of talk
Mm-hmm.
and not a lot of action when it comes to actual uh, entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs of color, Black
Yeah.
color, actually,
Yeah.
and them getting those opportunities. Everyone can be listed, but that doesn't mean that you're going to actually get any contracts. And
Yeah.
so that was a question that Robin Billups asked, being that she's been in procurement for such a long time,
Mm-hmm.
is it's fantastic to have a platform, but if the platform is not really helping the business owners find and be able to apply for the opportunities, then it's not there's not going to be any success.
Right. Right. Right.
So that was kind of the conversation, and so I'll share that with you. I think I hope so. Hopefully, it'll be for the benefit, and and everybody will benefit from it. But
Well, you know how it is. You know it is with those government programs. If they're not functioning, we're gonna keep pounding on those doors, making a lot of noise. And they say the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So we'll make a whole lot of noise saying, "Hey, this procurement program is not helping small businesses." When was the last time a small business get a contract out of this? We're gonna make all kinds of noise.
well, and as we should,
Yes.
and as we should.
That's how we got to get things changed. You remember, Crystal, you remember on this show, we made a lot of noise with that Wells Fargo president talking smack about black people.
You're right, exactly.
And then they got guilty and decided to give the Urban League $1 million. So, oh, this is for you black people.
Right, exactly. Well, it is the squeaky wheel. So we let her know that those things would be taking place if we would be bringing them back to the platform
Yes.
to address it. We also talked about some roundtable conversations,
Good.
fire chat conversations, and bringing those of us in the community. And I let her know that there are many of us that are providing a lot of tech service and assistance
Yeah.
for the small business. We
Yeah.
recognize that during the pandemic that, and we also know that a lot of our businesses were not ready. But however, during the pandemic, we have addressed a lot of that.
Yeah.
So now they can't use the excuse they're not ready, because we
No.
know for one thing, we know everybody got a license with the state of California, with the
Yeah.
city of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And
Well,
everybody
invite me to those round tables because I'd like to be a part of it. I'd like to put my little 2 cents in and see if it moves the needle any. So
Well, for sure. This is, it's a community. That's what the whole
yes.
thing is about. Hello, Michael Browning. Welcome. Glad to have you. And I am excited about our guest, Gilbert. I tell you, these two ladies, Michelle Moorbell, she's been watching the Business Zone for a while, and we're celebrating her 40 years in business.
All righty then.
Her.
Congratulations there, Michelle. See, you got a supporter already, Michelle. She's saying from Frilly Frou Frou said, hello everyone, joyful joys, happy to be here. Shout out to special Miss Michelle Bell. So you got your supporters already, and you haven't even been on camera yet. So so this is good.
And Michelle and I have been talking about this for some time now, and she was waiting for this opportunity to come along before she would come on the Business Zone. So I am very pleased that we are here, that she's here. And then we have Miss Selina Thomas, and I just had a wonderful conversation with her. I love talking to people who are just as committed to the small business population as you and I are, Gilbert. And
I'm telling you, man, we are a special breed.
So I truly enjoyed talking to her. So you guys will too. So we're going to bring Michelle on first, and then we're going to bring Selina, and then we'll both be able to talk to both of them together before we end the show.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, so basically, for those of you that are out in the audience, you are tuned in to the Business Zone
with Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic, and my co-host got frozen a little bit, so we're gonna wait for her to come back on. What we'd like to do is to let you know what this show is all about. The Business Zone is a platform for small businesses. We help provide advice, coaching, support, and information so small businesses can use that information to help in their growth, their development, and to prosper. We know we just went through a pandemic in 2020. So with what we're offering, we're helping you guys to climb out of that pandemic. Help yourselves to be contract ready, business ready, loan ready, nonprofit ready, grant ready. That type of thing we're trying to do for you. So this is an amazing thing. So is my co-host back yet?
Not yet.
My co-host is still trying to get on. We notice every Friday when we're telling truth, you know, the man decides to interfere with our communication and try to freeze up my co-host. So I just want to let you guys know, if you see my co-host get frozen and you can't hear what she's saying, is because the man is messing with her.
I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All righty. So yeah, some craziness. Last week it was my Spectrum. It decided just to drop off at this time of the day. So something weird is happening, but hopefully at least you guys will be there. Good morning, good afternoon, Camilla. Yeah, Blair, welcome. So with that, we're going to bring on Miss Michelle, and we will get this show on the road.
Hello.
Good.
Hi.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello there, looking wonderful.
Hello, Gilbert. Thank you.
How are you?
I am wonderful.
Thank you. We're so happy to have you on the Business Zone, and we can't wait for you to impart some of that wonderful knowledge to our population.
It's my pleasure to be here, and thank you and Crystal for the invite.
Well, we're so happy. You know, I've been wanting you on this show for a while. And
yes.
So I'm glad to have you here. And congratulations on 40 years in business. That's amazing.
That's a milestone. And Michelle, you know what that means when you've been in business for 40 years. You know what category they put you in, right?
What?
That you are now a legacy business. Okay.
Okay.
So that means you've been here from the beginning of time, and you can share a lot of wisdom to up and coming entrepreneurs.
And that's what I like to do. I like to mentor. I like to inspire others.
And your wonderful guests are shouting out, giving you shout outs. We got Diane Lane White saying, hello, Michelle Moore Bell. How are you?
Those
Oh,
are her.
wonderful. That's my niece. I have a great support system out there.
I love it.
So we want to welcome you. So a little bit about, and Michelle will give you more of her bio. She's been in the beauty business for 40 years,
Mhm.
and she, in addition to having her own salon called Salon First, Salon 21, right?
Yes,
Salon 21, and
yes.
she also runs a nonprofit
Mhm.
organization in the area of health and wellness, right? Breast cancer
Breast
awareness.
health awareness. Yes.
Right. And she provides, puts on, or she has prior to the pandemic, an annual a conference that is supporting women and breast cancer and breast cancer awareness. I've been to a number of them. They were pretty awesome. So that's, and she's been in the Los Angeles community, born and raised here, or?
No, born and raised in Muncie, Indiana. I've been
Okay. How long
here
you been in Los Angeles?
since 1978. A
All
long
right.
time.
So you're no longer considered a transplant, right?
Oh,
You're
no, no.
hip,
This is
hip.
my home, and I love LA.
Well, thank
So,
you for being on the Business Zone today, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank
so tell us
you.
a little bit more about yourself, Michelle, how you got into business. And I'm sure you must have a passion for the beauty industry. And now everyone that knows this about me, I always say there's certain industries that Black people can excel in just because that is an industry that we spend a lot of money in. And
Yeah.
the beauty industry is one of those. And the entertainment and sports, but especially the beauty industry, because me personally, no one else can do my hair but another Black person, because they're the only people that can understand my hair. So I want to commend you, one, being in that industry for such a long time, and being successful in that industry. So tell us a little bit more about how you got in it, and just who you are, and what does it take to be in business for 40 years?
Yes, well, I am a 40-year veteran in the hair and beauty care. I'm an industry consultant, an industry expert. I love the business. I got started one time. I was at my hair salon, and I was talking to Roddy Staten about the industry. And he shared some information with me, and I decided to quit my job at Hughes Aircraft at the time and attend cosmetology school.
Wow.
And it was the best thing I could have ever did. And I'm
Wow.
just so grateful to God for giving me the ability to make a difference in the lives of others. I mean, I love helping others. I love inspiring others. That's why I started my business. But cosmetology school just showed me a whole lot, that the sky is the limit in the beauty industry. It's $1 billion industry, as you had mentioned, Crystal, a lot of money. But you truly have to love helping people. You have to have a passion. You have to have a vision. Imagine what you could do in this industry, because the sky's the limit. There's plenty of opportunities. You can go all over the world. You can work anywhere. And I'm just so grateful that I had a vision to open my own salon, Salon 21. I owned and operated Salon 21 for 23 years. It was a great place for people to come and learn and grow and build their clientele. So that got me excited, just seeing people grow. They would come in one way, but in a couple of years, they were totally different. They were inspired, they were successful, and they made good money. So it was about, I say, 12 years ago, God gave me another dream. He fulfilled another dream. I'm still inspiring women. I'm still servicing my clients. I love retailing, because even with retailing, that's an opportunity to help people. And I think anyone who is in business, especially in the beauty business, you must retail, because you want to provide everything that your clients need.
Mm.
And it has given me an opportunity to mentor also, I love doing more than hair. I love touching people. I love networking. I belong to several different organizations. And as you had mentioned, God had put in my spirit, I have given you the ability to make a difference in women's lives, both inside and out. And that's when I started the nonprofit, the Wellness Group. We have a great board of directors, and we do host an event every year. We were blessed last year where we could host it at the Whiffendale. We had a garden event, but it's a free event, and we just want to inspire women to take care of themselves, to be aware of breast cancer, of breast health awareness, so that you can just stay strong and just stay on top of your health. So I love the industry. I love being an entrepreneur. I love sharing, and that's
You
how
know,
I
it's
got here.
interesting. Years ago, I have a business partner, and she and I were going to open up a men's grooming salon. And
Yeah,
so in prepping for that, we visited a lot of salons, day spas, because that's kind of what it was. It's going to be like a day spa, and but for men, the clientele was going to be for men. And I would go to Vegas. We were all over the country going to events, and I was shocked. Generally, it was just she and I, or maybe a sprinkling of Black people at these conventions, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a beauty supply on every corner in Los Angeles, and I imagine the same thing in other cities and states as well. But we were not well represented, and one of the things that I noticed in our journey and in our visits that majority of the other salons had retail. That was really how they made the majority of their money, because if you're in white salons, they come get their hair cut and colored probably every 6 weeks
right,
or more, right? Whereas in Black salons, you are there every week.
hmm right, right.
Right. But the price tag is, if you're back in the day, I remember when you get your hair pressed and curl, you weren't paying a lot of money. It's $20, $30, $40. Weaves came along and there was a lot of money in that. But the retail is the money maker
You
in the beauty, in the hair salon, isn't it?
yes, you must retail and add-ons, services, and retailing. It
So
comes
do
Right.
with
you
the career, really.
do you sell products then, Michelle? Do you
Yes,
sell products?
everything for your hair, face, and body.
Okay.
Satin pillowcases. You need to sleep on the satin pillowcase. We have it available for you. We don't want you to have to leave and drive and maybe not get the right product. We have it for you.
Very
And
good.
right, and also the fact that when you leave the shop, you are salon perfect. So now when you get home, how do you maintain and keep the salon perfection? You have to
Right,
have the
right,
same products that you guys are using. I
right.
just never
Exactly.
I never understood that. It's like, why, when I would even go to my own hair salon, where's the products? Why aren't you, and especially because I would get my hair braided or I'd get my weave. It's like, y'all need to be selling hair. You need to be selling all of the products that go along with maintaining hair. I shouldn't have to go to a beauty supply store and say, okay, what do I do with this? I should
Oh,
get
no.
all of that from the person that actually did my hair.
Exactly. We have it for you. I want to tell you too, when I left cosmetology school, what my instructor told me not to do, I did it. He said, do not go out and rent a booth. Go into a commission salon. No, I didn't do that. So, but we do have a lot of nice Black shows like in Atlanta and here in LA too. But I was at the Ambassador Hotel, and
Hmm.
there I saw Simply Raw hair designers. I said, I want to work with them. That's the type of work I want to do.
Okay.
I called Simply Raw, LaFay Davenport. She took me to a breakfast interview. She hired me, and that changed my life. That changed my life. I was with Simply Raw for 2.5 years. And then I left there, went out on my own for 2 years. And then I opened my own salon 2 years after that.
Well, wow. So Simply Raw was on Wilshire, or is that?
Well, we started out on Santa Barbara at that time, which is now Martin Luther King Boulevard. And we moved to Wilshire and Dunsmuir. There were 16 stations in there. And boy, was that fun. Just learning, growing. Even LaFay asked me to give an add-on class.
Wow.
She said, Michelle, you're doing it. You got to give an add-on class. But even I knew I had something too. I really didn't know it was in me to do hair because I went to the beauty salon every week. And I was into makeup. I was into skincare, fashion, modeling. But I never thought the beauty industry as a career for me. But when I got into it, I just loved it. I love it.
Michelle, it's amazing how you started out working for the man. And when we start out working for the man, we think it's a good thing. We start feeling, okay, there's some level of security. Then we start finding out there's not much happiness there. And that's what happened with you. You didn't feel the level of happiness that you wanted, so you divorced the man. And after you divorced him,
exactly.
After you divorced him, you take on your own thing as an entrepreneur, and look how much happiness it brings you.
And when I did it, they found out. They said at Hughes Aircraft, they sent me a letter. Either you return or we're going to terminate you, because they found out she has no plans of coming back here.
Exactly.
My desk was cleaned out. I had no plans of going back there. But I resigned. I did not give them the satisfaction of terminating me. and I've just been so happy.
But I will have to say this. So when I decided I was going into my own and starting my own business, and I had as Gilbert calls him, the man job. And of course, with the man job, you had your benefits, you had, a decent salary and everything. So when I was leaving, my mom was like, "Are you crazy? You giving up a guaranteed paycheck?" And I was like, I got to follow my dream, Mom. I just have to follow my dreams. So I assume that's what you had to follow.
I had to follow my dream, right. And at that time, my boyfriend, who became my husband, he believed in me.
Right.
I told him I was going to quit my job and go to cosmetology school 40 hours a week for 10 months.
Oh, yeah. And see, the thing is,
said, okay.
The thing is, working at Hughes, your paycheck was limited. There's a ceiling to what you could make there. But becoming an entrepreneur, it's unlimited.
It's unlimited. It's unlimited. You are so right. And all you have to do is see it.
Oh, yes.
Just have a vision. Just see it.
Right.
And bring others along with you.
And the creativity. I mean, you actually went into an industry that is full of creativity, creating a new, whatever vision that the customer or your client had. I always marvel at a lot of the inventions in the hair industry. And a lot of it is because of the hairstylist that's doing the hair. And you're like, well, maybe I could do it this way, or maybe I could do it this way. And it reminds me, especially the very talented artists that are out there. And I see you have Madam C.J. Walker on your back wall over there.
I was gonna talk about her. Too, because I'm sure that's your mentor, your guide, your inspiration, right?
She's one of my inspirations. Just to know what she did back then.
Yes,
she was Mary Kay before Mary Kay.
That's right.
Exactly. She was Mary Kay.
Oh my gosh.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
And you did similar to what she did, because she stepped out. She going, hey, I'm not going to work for the man. I'm going to step out and do my own thing. And she was just phenomenal. That determination.
Yes. And she was about helping others.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, about helping others. I know my mom was in the hair business as well. In fact, she was one of the very first. My grandfather actually built a hair salon for her in Tennessee. She was in Memphis and she had gone to school in Memphis, and everybody else was going to college, and her thing was hair. And so he opened up her salon, and when she migrated to the north to New York, she that's how she did her. She was a nurse, and she did her hair on the side. That was how we raised.
Woo,
Yeah.
yes.
She had people and that's when you do the straightening comb, and they were in the kitchen, and Easter and all the holidays and weddings and all that sort of stuff. She never was in a shop in New York, but she did it at home.
Yes, and you mentioned she was a nurse. I wanted to be a nurse. And you know, when I went to cosmetology school, we had to wear white uniforms. I had the opportunity to wear my white nurse uniform.
I remember that. I remember that back in the day, Michelle. I remember that because I used to see these women wearing white, and I said, "Are you guys a nurse?" No, we're in cosmetology school. I'm going, what? That's neat. I like that. That's different,
I liked it too. Yeah, it was professional. It was clean. And can I read 2 comments that my instructors wrote in my memory book?
Sure.
This was 1982. One instructor, Michelle, you are very enterprising. You have a successful future ahead of you. Good luck, S. Michaels.
Wow.
That set my spirit on fire. It's like, wow. And this is what the other one said. Michelle, good luck to you. You are one of the most completely competent people we have ever had here. Love you. And when I read that, I knew then I had something. I had something where I could, be successful, help other people. And it's just really great. I remember one time I was at my salon. I had been there since 8 a.m. It was 12 midnight. It's like, wow, it's midnight and I'm not even tired. I'm still happy, feeling good. So hairstyling, it's a lot of fun. You're in the salon long hours, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
It's just like with Crystal and I. When we're doing the things we do for small business, it's like there's no late night. We just keep going.
Yeah.
There's no clock or anything.
So sometimes I remember one time someone said, "What keeps you up at night?" So I was thinking, do they mean something negative? I mean, my business keeps me up at night. That's about it. Me thinking about it, how I can improve, but nothing else. I'm not worried about anything. But your business, your entrepreneurship, your spirit, your passion can keep you up all night.
Yes.
It definitely can. What would you would say was your secret for being in business for 40 years? And as Gilbert said, you truly are a legacy business because you stood the test of time.
Yes.
There's statistics that say that businesses, if you get past that 7 years or 5 years to 10 years, right? Marker is a pretty guarantee that you're going to survive. But the first 5 years, it's a crapshoot, man. Whether or not you're going to be in business. So what has been your secrets?
Well, I said you have to have that energy at all time, that joyful spirit. You have to have the passion to change. You can't keep everything the same. You have to get out there, let people know about you, what you're doing. My business is built on word of mouth. I never had to advertise, but I would market the salon for me and the other stylists, but we never had to advertise. So as long as you're talented, you're happy, you're helping others to grow, and it works. You communicate with people. I would tell the people who worked at Salon 21, this is what I need you to do, and we all will be successful. And when you leave here and open your own salon, I planted that in their mind. You will do the same thing. And they did the same thing. Because that's what I did when I left Simply Rock. LaFay, my mentor, she was my role model. And I took what I learned from her and kept going. So as long as you stay happy and wanting to please people and educate yourself all the time, you're forever learning and growing. And I love to go to educational shows And another thing is self-care. You have to take care of yourself too. Pamper yourself. You do to be pampered.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's pretty awesome. And the hospitality, you basically are in the hospitality industry, and it's so important to have the customer service. I was teaching a class the other day on that. If you don't do anything else in your business, you need to create a standard of excellence when it comes to customer service. Because with the hair industry, I can go to anybody, but I'm going to come back to you if all of my needs are being met.
Yeah, if that customer service is there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that's the number one thing, customer service. And we provide our clients with refreshments. And I remember this when Bill Cosby, we didn't have a TV because I just wanted the stylist to concentrate on the customer. Michelle, when you get a TV in here, we got to watch Bill Cosby. And we brought a TV in and they were happy. So that customer service means a lot. A lot of times, I will call my client if they have a new style, new color. How's your hair? How do you like your hair? Oh, Michelle, thank you for calling me. That's so nice of you. I love it. It's perfect. But yeah, I care about them. I check up on them and make sure they're happy, they're satisfied. If not, it's my job to make sure they are satisfied. And I'm willing to do it.
In the business coaching and professional services business, we call that making your clients fall in love with you. Because if they're in love with you, there's no way they're going to anyone else.
Right. That is so true. And I remember too, I am a independent skincare consultant also. And when I was really getting into my skincare and cosmetics, and they said, well, Michelle, are you going to be in the salon? Or are you going to be out there selling skincare and cosmetics? It's like, I'm going to be in the salon. I mean, they told me where they wanted me. Yeah. And I love doing it. They were my bread and butter. I'm going to be here in the salon for you all. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the important part when, especially new businesses that are coming into the business space, is understanding that it's your customers' needs that come first, and not yours. I mean, we start businesses and we're starting it for ourselves, but whatever services we're providing or products it's for them. And so we have to make that place a welcoming place for them and create a culture that wants them to come back.
Yes.
So Michelle, with 7 minutes left in your segment, I want to see what are some of the pointers you can give aspiring and upcoming beauticians or people in your space, the hair care product space. What tips can you give them to encourage them to become successful?
I'm going to the people who are interested in the beauty industry, the sky is the limit for you or any business, but have a mission, have a vision, and a value statement. Yeah, you need to have a target market, have a great product and service, and be into sales and marketing, and create a team. You need a good team with you. And know too, I'm here. If you need me, you can always contact me.
Mm-hmm. So successful, you would say successful entrepreneurs, they need a mentor, right? They would be good for them to have a mentor.
It'd be good for them to have a mentor. And and speak up for yourself. Speak up for what you need.
Yes.
Ask someone.
Yes.
For sure, yeah, honestly, I know both. Gilbert and I are in the service industry, and for me, it's all about service. It's all about when you come to my workshops or even me working with you one-on-one. The takeaway has to be of value to you. So I go out of my way making sure that you walk away with something. Right.
Yes.
And that it can make a difference in your business the next day. So I work hard at that, and I work hard at making sure that I have great programs and keep everything up to date and fresh, so that when you do come to me, you will remember me forever.
Oh yes.
We work in a very competitive space. Everybody out here is helping small businesses in some capacity or another. So we have to make sure you stand out. And Michelle, I've known you. I met you through Recycling Black Dollars with Jackie
Mhm,
B, and Jackie B
mhm.
was definitely a big supporter of yours. And I believe I came to with her to one of the
The
cancer
health
awareness,
event,
the
the
health
health
event.
event,
And
yes.
I was just so impressed at how you put that together, and just the amazing women that were in the audience. And Gilbert, primarily everybody there was women,
All
and
right.
just absolutely amazing event. So, and
Love it.
she's got such a warm heart, and she's been following us on the Business Zone, and as well as she's over at the community briefing with me every Thursday.
Yeah.
That's
And
beautiful.
And that's another thing I want to say too. When if you're an independent hair stylist, make sure you create a business name and a great professional business name. That's where you start, maybe in the salon,
Yeah.
creating your vision for yourself.
Yes.
And always have your papers together because you're going to need funding. So
Okay.
have
Okay.
everything together.
That is what we preach on this show every week.
Yes,
Being ready, having
be
all your
ready.
documents there. Yes, that's
And
beautiful.
a couple other things I just want to say. It's my faith that has carried me, and I take God as my business partner. And the Holy
Yes.
mm,
Spirit speaks to me every day on different things. So I'm just so grateful for that. Another thing, say your affirmations every day
Yeah. Yeah.
and expect a miracle every day.
oh,
Yes. Yes. I like
The-
that.
And stay informed, stay connected, stay encouraged. Contact me if I can help you. I'm here.
I love it.
well, that
Love
is
it. Love it.
awesome.
Before you go, Michelle, before you go,
Yes.
I want you to address the Black Women's Network, because your supporter here, Gwen Goodman, is talking about it. So let me hear about that a
Thank you.
little bit.
That's what I want to say too. I love joining different organizations: Black Women's Network, Recycling Black Dollars, the BBA, the Black Business Association. But Black Women's Network has been around for 43 years. It's a
Mm.
wonderful organization of women. Our motto is Sisters in Service to Enhance Resource Sharing. I have
Now
been a
that's
member for
what I'm talking
years.
about.
Now I serve as vice president. And BWN, my sisters, thank you all for showing up like you always do. Thank you, Gwen.
Gwen is a big supporter, and that
Oh,
was
yes,
Marva Battlebay,
the founder.
the
Oh, my
founder of the
gosh.
Black Women's. Yeah, but we lost an icon when
Oh,
she.
yes.
But you guys, I give it to you. You guys have carried on in the same manner, the same style as she had when in her vision. So congratulations, 43 years. That's a long time, and again, another incredible organization, and I've been to their events as well. You guys do an amazing job. Gwen, you as well. Gwen, we need to get you on the show as well. All of you, Camilla Blair, I've met her in different
Yes.
capacities.
Oh, yes.
Diane, I think I actually spoke at the Black Women's Network. I did a presentation for you guys earlier last year, I believe, and I remember, meeting all the
Yeah,
great
yes,
ladies
you
over there.
did. You did
I
last
did.
July. Yes, and you were
I did.
awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we
See,
definitely
we
want
bring
to thank
nothing.
you. Go
Well,
ahead.
we
Go
only
ahead.
bring the best to BWN.
That's what I'm
So
talking
thank you.
about.
Thank you
Well,
guys. I
well,
was honored.
I'm hoping someday, Michelle, someday you guys will put a waiver on your policies and your protocol and bring me in also to address the women of the Black Women Network. Okay.
Thank you, Gilbert. We would love to have you. I love your spirit. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Don't go. Just stay on the line, because we've got another
Okay.
phenomenal woman that we're bringing on here right now.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna
So
bring on our next guest, and thank you. So don't go anywhere, Michelle, because after
Okay.
we do her interview, we want to have a conversation with the both of you, because both of you
yes.
are women in business, and we're celebrating women. And there's a statistic that I read recently that even during the pandemic, the women were the survivors of the pandemic.
Oh,
There,
yes,
and the growth of women entrepreneurs grew tremendously
it
Yeah,
did.
during the
throughout the
pandemic.
pandemic.
Mhm.
Uh,
So
to,
with
to to be exact, it grew 49%. 49%
Yes.
of new businesses were women-owned businesses during the pandemic. So
Yeah, it was. So now our guest, Miss Selina Thomas. She's an 11-year resident of Santa Clarita. She is a busy mom of 3 amazing daughters, and she is the CEO and founder of 6 Degrees of HR Consulting and the host of a podcast as well called SCV Signal, and a recent candidate for the Santa Clarita City Council. We welcome you, Miss Selina, and talk about another business that really focuses on customer service and laws and support of businesses. And I think
Absolutely.
for there's a big need for outside HR consultants, because when you work in a corporate world, over the years, the HR department is not necessarily there for the employee;
no,
is there
it's
for the
there for the
corporation.
man.
Mhm.
There for the
Mhm.
man. So welcome to the business zone, Selena.
We are
Hi,
so happy to
everybody.
have you.
Thank you. So much to unpack. And I just have to start by saying thank you for having me on. I was so excited. I'd spoken to Gilbert about a month ago about this opportunity. And so the timing is aligned. But to Michelle, you are so inspiring. I want you to touch on me today. You were talking about that you like to touch on people and give them that energy and that spirit to believe in themselves. It's so important
Yes.
to see that. And I love to see stories of people with that type of legacy, because we aspire. I'm 8 years in the business, past that little teeter part where things might not go well, and certainly my industry, human resources, really accelerated during COVID because of the compliance factor. There wasn't a day that you didn't see a headline about what employers have to do now, right? And 6 Degrees answered the call to many of those mandates regarding masks, at one point, vaccinations in the workplace. There was
Mhm.
a lot of positioning done way before COVID that thankfully I had built a great foundation here in Santa Clarita on how to serve small businesses. But then I became a part of the recovery. And of course, we're going to be in that recovery mode at least 5 to 6 years. That's a prediction that's conservative, given that we're not done yet, right? So,
Mhm.
um, 6 Degrees has evolved, and I named it specifically, which I loved your point about being mindful and specific about branding. Because when I started 6 Degrees, I started out of a Starbucks right here in Santa Clarita, but I thought globally, even at that point, that it was going to be way beyond Selena Thomas, and that I needed to think very big. And early in my career, I was an intern for Nate Holden, and I had an opportunity to be immersed in, at that time, empowerment zones. And they're called hub zones now, right? And the development of businesses and their recovery from, at that time, the riots was,
Mhm.
the disaster in that era. And so applying that to what I'm doing now in my candidacy, I am so fortunate to be able to represent my community in city council and for what I've built here. So coming here as a single mom 12 years ago with 3 girls in tow, started my company to support them in this new life that we were building here. And then it grew because small businesses, there's fertile soil here in Santa Clarita for small businesses. And there's some areas that you can say are the absolutes, but HR translates everywhere. And so I have industries from medical to construction to service industries, even salons, and all of those things transfer. And this is the reason why 6 Degrees grew to where it did. But now it has become that essential industry for companies. And to your point, Crystal, a lot of companies use me as a third party to investigate issues because they're too close and
Mhm.
you can't see the forest through the trees. So you have a neutral specialist that comes in, doesn't know the people or the politics, and I'm applying best practices to resolving and mediating issues between an employee and an employer. So HR has expanded so many different directions because of not just the crisis, but we're living in a state that is really weighted in the favor of an employee. So a neutral party serves everybody. So I'm so
Interesting.
excited to share that part of how 6 Degrees grew.
And you guys are vital right now with the great resignation. I think employers believe that it's about money. That is not what this is about. It's about that work culture. It's about the toxic environments that
Absolutely.
employees are
Respect and
and
care
care. That's
for
all they're
the
concerned
employees.
about. Money's
Yes,
important, but how I feel and fit in your
yes,
place of business is
Yeah.
more important to me because I'm spending so many hours with you. So
absolutely.
so I shouldn't have to go to a job and hate it from the moment I sit there and just wait to Friday till I get my paycheck, and that's the only thing I'm living for.
Or even heading into the job and feeling that anxiety. And so my thesis title was retention of employees in a multifaceted company from the top down. Why do people leave companies? And it was never about the money. In my survey, most people left because of the way they were treated. And so understanding that as a practitioner later when I became licensed and I expanded my knowledge into not just how to practice in California, but I'm actually certified nationally, it really expanded the brand in being able to be an industry leader on diversity and equity in the workplace, sexual harassment, hostile work environment, mitigating those issues way before they become pervasive. And so you're right, the human part is first in HR. And if people consider that when they are opening their company, one employee requires you to comply with all of the workers' comp, right? And the payroll, everything that they touch, you have a responsibility and you're more than likely regulated by somebody.
So
Yeah.
So that's my specialty.
how long ago have you done your thesis, Selena?
2004, actually. And so I've
So
been a practitioner for over 16 years.
so
And
you can republish that, right? Because
yes,
what you're talking about is exactly what's going on right now. So that
yes,
would I remember when I wrote my thesis, I thought, oh, it was just a document I'm going to write and
put
get
it
a
on the
mark from
shelf.
from
Yeah,
my professor.
right.
But then as
Mhm.
you go along in the industry, you see where it's becoming more and more relevant. So I can just imagine with yours
Yes.
how relevant it is. And I would encourage you to publish it.
Well,
And if you look
especially,
at life's issues are cyclical, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
The issues regarding social justice
Yes.
are equally applicable now in my kids' generation.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. I would use that same analogy.
Oh,
Hmm.
yes.
And especially when you look, this is what 4 million people just walked off jobs. That's
Mm-hmm.
significant, right? I,
Yes.
I remember when I was um a job that I had prior to my exodus into entrepreneurship, like Michelle,
Sure.
but I kind of knew that that's what I wanted. It was a plan for me, right?
Yeah.
And my
Sure.
plan was to stay there for a certain period of time and then I was going to leave. But as the time progressed, the work environment became kind of toxic. And I used to
Yes.
pray all the way to work and I'd have to pray all the
Yes.
way home that I'd get back there
Hmm.
the next day. And I told my mom when it was time for me to leave, and she was like, "Why are you leaving?" I said, "Because one, I decided I'm not a good employee,
Yes.
and two, why am I working somewhere where I'm miserable? I should not be miserable going to work."
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
and and so that is so important. I think she froze. Let's see. Um, Up. She's popping out. Let's see if she's gonna come back.
I think you lost Selena there.
Yeah, I
No,
think.
I'm
Let me
here.
see.
Oh,
There
there
she is.
she is.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry
Um,
about that.
y- No
I agree
problems.
with you that having that sense of misery going into the job, you're not efficient and effective during the job, and then you're decompressing on the way home. So, to your point earlier, many people used COVID as that opportunity to make those dreams happen that they had tabled, reinvent themselves. For some, they were forced to because their industries were so impacted that it would be, think about the restaurant industry. I know a lot of salon workers had to work underground because of the compliance related to just being in close contact with someone. So people use this time to reinvent themselves and and find their happiness and find their purpose. And as we spoke to earlier, Crystal, the evolution of me becoming a candidate for public office was because of the crisis that happened to the small business community. And it was a natural evolution, even for an established business owner like myself, to lend my knowledge of and voice and advocacy to my candidacy because my small businesses were actually endorsing me to do so, so that they had an advocate that could um, really speak to the nuances of this crisis for them. And then the other layers came forward from being someone that had evolved and developed and can reflect what's possible here. And so it's been a blessing to be able to share my story in my candidacy and still build my practice and support my clients.
See, you made an amazing transition to my next question that I was going to ask. So you're reading my mind here. I was going to say, I see Crystal, my co-host, as a phenomenal woman. So too do I see Michelle and many others like them. I also see you as a phenomenal woman, and I wanted to see how does that phenomenal woman translate into this office that you're running for now, and how do you see the community supporting you with that office? So maybe you can tell us a little bit about, like you just
Oh,
mentioned,
sure.
the purpose, the reason why you got into it, and the office itself.
And truly, it was an evolution, much like many people had, except my evolution went into public service. So, just as a history, I was a social worker prior to going into the business sector. So the people part was and service part, and I did this for 8 years prior to transitioning into human resources because I was better suited in that arena. It was difficult to bring kids forward and be a new mom working with the toughest elements of society as a social worker. So I had to translate into another industry that could still allow me to be of service, still allow me to be connected to people and serving people, but not having it steal my soul at the same time. And there are people that are suited for that and can and this is the blessing that we have with people that can be first responders and social workers and doctors. But I knew and well enough of myself that I needed to evolve into a different industry to serve. And so it's the same here. I've evolved as someone that has served small businesses and served the community, and those um, things aligning with not just where I'm at in my life. My kids are young adults now, headed into college. I have a 21, 18, and 16-year-old. So the timing of their needs being met is affording me to extend myself back into public service in this way, but using that service experience as a social worker and someone from the business sector, and then of course the evolution of me as an individual collides with the opportunity for this community, which is much more diverse than when I came here 12 years ago. Um, all of those things collide. So the intersection of Santa Clarita and what's happening and the diversity growth and Selina Thomas is like this. And so
So
it really is like that sweet spot that Michelle spoke to. And like you find your purpose and you have an energy now that is infectious.
So just so that our audience or viewers can understand and be clear about what you represent, the office you're going after is city council in the city of Santa Clarita, right?
Yes.
City Council.
I'm the
And
first woman of color to be, yes.
that's the kind of thing I
And
want
so
to hear right there.
That
Yes.
is awesome.
with
And
3
That
daughters that are obviously watching, right? And obviously, um, I have to model if I'm saying that our culture of our family is to serve. So I'm a daughter of a veteran. My mother is Filipino. My father's African American. My father met my mom in the Philippines and married her there. And I'm born because he was of service. And so this is who our family is. And so that legacy is, you spoke to Michelle and all of us in our own way, is part of who our family is. And so developing and modeling that is an absolute. I owe that to the shoulders that I'm standing on to do it in a time that it serves not just the previous generations and honoring who they've been, but the future.
I think that's so admirable. Mainly because we need new blood in public office today, and not too many people are willing to step up to want to do that because it's a journey that that you're
Yes,
embarking on to make change. And because anytime you want to go into public office, you obviously want to equate change. I know Gilbert is always saying, Crystal, you should run for office. No, that's not my areas here where I am right now. I felt that my voice was better
sure.
met in a media type environment and in what I do with my workshops and classes.
Advocacy,
Advocacy is what I
absolutely.
do and support. But I
Yeah,
do take my hat off, and whatever we can do to support you in this endeavor. First, being the
thank
first
you.
Black woman to become city council in a predominantly Caucasian environment is awesome. First of all,
Thank you.
and your mission and your purpose, and I just like your spirit, and I know you will make some things happen, and
Always.
especially for the small business community, they need so much. They need so much, and we found
We
that out
do,
during the
and it's going to
pandemic.
be a long time. Even without the crisis, they need so much, right? The unique components of being a small business, and really for some and most of my clients, it's a family-owned business. So their existence relies on the small business prospering and evolving into generational opportunities. But to your question, um, Gilbert, about how I'm being received, I have been so honored to be embraced um, by the diversity of our community, and it was because of the bricks laid in the business community. People watched me raise my kids here as a single mom. They saw me at softball games, volleyball games. So there was that credibility that I had earned to represent what's possible here. And so that has been really uh, beautiful in this cycle because we're in person now. So my campaign events are packed, and the room is diverse, and there's an energy about this campaign that has brought the community together. And that's part of one of my priorities is civic engagement. People are paying attention to the race because to Michelle's point, an innovative candidate came forward, but really I'm a constituent first, and I represent what's possible here. And I think that's why people have embraced me in that way, and I'm so grateful for that.
well, I love your cool and calm demeanor. It's just amazing. It's like when she speaks, Crystal
She just is
and Michelle.
calm. It's
Yeah, you
calming.
just want to hear more and more. You can't wait to hear the next word of what she's
Uh-huh.
going to say because it's so
Mm.
formulated and well put together. Now, in Jamaica, we have a
Oh,
saying
thank you.
that, you know, someone who speaks like that, speak quietly but carry a big stick.
Yes, absolutely.
It doesn't
I
necessarily mean
understand
you're
that.
going to be aggressive, but it just means that,
And I
hey,
might not use
you
it,
can get,
but I
yeah,
have it.
exactly.
You'll
And you
Absolutely.
can
use it
get,
when you have
Right.
to.
yes,
Right.
you
Now,
can
Absolutely.
get things
Michelle,
done.
And
there
that's
have been
being, you develop
many
that
of the
as a mom, right?
yeah, exactly. Be quiet, but carry a big stick.
Yeah.
Michelle, in the Black Women's Network, there are quite a few women politicians that were involved. Isn't Yvonne Bratworth Burke, wasn't she involved with the Women's Network?
A long time ago,
I'm familiar with
yes,
Yvonne.
yes. We have had
When I was
several
an intern for Nate, I had the honor to meet her. at that
Yes.
time she was serving. Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
So this after this interview you're having with us, gracing us with your
Yes.
very special and important time. After this, you have a press conference, right? Is it a press conference that you have?
I actually have a Chamber of Commerce installation gala. I'm very involved in our Chamber of Commerce, and I've, along with Nael, who's a dear friend of ours, we have, as Black business owners, begun to be able to accelerate our presence because of our engagement with the Chamber of Commerce, and we've been embraced. And so there's a first in-person installation gala that's happened. It's not, it's been canceled the last 2 years. So that I'm switching out of this dress into the ball
The
gown.
ball
So
down.
we get to be in person, and
I
I
love
get to
it.
be Cinderella tonight.
I
I get to
love
be
it.
Cinderella, and I get to wake up and be excited about the opportunity to not just campaign all through the weekend, because any opportunity to meet someone in this grocery store and talk about the campaign, so I don't have to have a real specific structured event to talk about the campaign and talk about the movement in the community, for new and fresh ideas and perspectives that maybe people had not thought of, but also that the diversity that's here now is bringing forward. And it's almost, they're coming and they're like, who is the movers in this community? Who's the support? Who's the leadership? And as a business owner for as long as Michelle has been, you become, into some degree, leadership by
Yes.
default, by
Mhm.
by your success, by your ability to create jobs, by your ability to sustain and maintain for as long as you have. And so those things are coming forward. I'm celebrating my 8th year, gone from Starbucks to a 2-story billboard here in town. There's 2 stories of Selena if you come here on Railroad. And then the franchising, trademarking this year, became an MBE. It's the constant of evolution that lends that credibility to my candidacy, but also by default, you become a business leader. People come to us to say, how did you get past that 5-year mark where things typically fold? And then how did you do it in a crisis? And how can you share that information with people that are wanting to go from sole proprietor to corporation to franchise? So it's so exciting to be able to see everyone tonight. And it's been 2 years. I've been in a box like this for 2 years. So when people meet me, they're like, I had no idea you were so tall. I'm 5'9". They're like, you're so short in the box. I'm like, yes.
Right, exactly.
So that's been really fun to be able to connect with people in person, and like Michelle, touch on them. I love that part. I love people.
Well,
Yeah.
Michelle, I think you guys should have Selena over at the Black Women's Network.
Oh,
And
yes,
I'd love
yes.
I think
to.
so too.
I will
I,
get her information. It will be a great benefit to the
Absolutely.
organization.
yeah, I think so. And I'm
Thank you
going to
so much.
invite you to, and I'm going to have my co-host that I do the
Oops, sorry.
community briefing, and the community briefing is a platform that is predominantly for Southern California. And we've had speakers from all across the country, actually, but talking about small business. And so I'd love to have you come on next. I'll have Stephen Turner reach out to you, and so that he can
Oh, I would
put
love
you
that.
on the
Thank you so
calendar.
much.
Because however we can help you in
Yeah.
getting you that exposure.
Share the
And
journey, share the
yeah,
story, share the campaign information, share that we are, even in 2022, to be the first is still, right?
it's
My dad was the
yeah,
first principal, first superintendent, but that was in the 80s. We're 2022. We should
Yeah,
have no more firsts,
yeah,
right? It
right.
should
yeah,
not even be a metric that people focus
yeah.
on in a campaign. And so let's just check that box, not because of that, but because I'm a qualified candidate that happens to be that. But now we're no longer going to have the conversation that it would be the first one. And so when my daughter, who's 16 now, wants to run, it's about the merit of her ability as a candidate.
Hmm.
So
I think so.
your election to the city council office is going to be in November. What are some of the pain
Midterms,
points?
yes.
Yeah. What are
Mhm.
some of the pain points that your constituents are voicing to you? You know, what are some of the
Yes,
challenges?
definitely there's small business recovery. I think if you look at my campaign information, that's priority one, because we were hit the hardest, and we're going to be the longest to recover, right? And we talked about the PPPs earlier. We talked about some of the infrastructure that big businesses had that could help sustain them. So that's priority. Other pains are that there's not the representation that is reflective in the community that people are wanting to see, so that they can become engaged and that they can be part of and feel part of a community that they're spending. The median income here is 150,000. The average price of a home is 750 plus. And
Hmm.
so the housing issues are also part of the pains that people are, and this is nationally, right? But California seems to be amplified in compared to the national
Mm-hmm.
crisis. But ability to afford homes and live in a community. I know people that live here and they work 3 jobs elsewhere to live here. And so that crisis has been a big part of what I'm hearing on the campaign trail. And then, of course, getting our kids um, back into school without the barriers and the mandates, and helping them recover from being shuttered. I have 2 student athletes that from 100 to I'm zoomed and I can't even do my sport. And so just working through those mental health issues that has been impactful to our young people of being shuttered. And so there's that. And then, of course, how do we bring jobs here, and how can we create an environment that people can see is ideal for living and doing business? So it's not just a small business community I'm advocate for. I'm an advocate to bring big business here so people can live and work here um, without the super commuter.
So I see the city of Santa Clarita posting a lot of procurement opportunities because they send some my way too. I guess because I registered in their database a long time ago. So I see them putting out a lot of procurement opportunities. How are the minority and women businesses in the area faring with regard to that? Are they getting some of those opportunities, or are they just
Such a
get
good
battered by?
question. Well, what part of our advocacy at the Chamber, at the Business Alliance at COC, is to first educate our minority business owners to operate with infrastructure, because you cannot become an MBE, right, to gain
Mhm.
that procurement without it. And so we're really starting from that place and helping them understand the value. And there were a lot of Black business owners that could not obtain the PPP because they didn't
Right,
have the business banking accounts. They
right.
weren't bankable. They were doing things hand to mouth. And so really starting from the beginning and helping them understand the need to have that infrastructure. That's the antithesis of my company is infrastructure. So we have to start there in order for them to become MBEs, and educating them that we're leaving money on the table. I
Hmm.
do workplace investigations for municipalities because I'm an MBE. So I have
Hmm.
another field, a stream of income that comes into 6 Degrees HR, separate from my book of business of my day to day,
Hmm.
right, clients. But this is when Long Beach calls and says, we need sexual harassment and hostile work environment. It has to be, they have that allocated amount of money that they have to use an MBE for it.
Yeah.
So educating them that this is another field stream of income that they can tap into and have build their practice or their service industry, whatever their scope is. So the Business Alliance at COC has made a commitment to Black business owners, starting in February of this year in honor of Black History Month, to amplify and extend programming to educate Black business owners about those details and nuances so that they can begin to tap into those funds. And so right now, Nael and I, as we know it at this point, are the only 2 MBEs in Santa Clarita. And so we don't want to be sole survivors. We don't want to be the only ones that prosper. And so this is why we, any opportunity to speak, separate from the campaign, I speak to Black business owners about that.
So just so you know, Councilwoman, Crystal and I can help you out with that too. That's what we do. We help
Yes.
small business,
And we
small
share your
minority,
information
women-owned business,
as
and we
often as
can be
possible.
there to help. So I just want to let you know you got help over
Thank
here
you.
from us.
And
Okay.
and we
Yeah.
all need those extra tools and resources, right? And as seasoned as we are and experienced as we are in our industries, we can always use and learn more, and we can always gain more information that will help not just expand our businesses, but and help level up other people. So the the phrase that we're using for Black business owners that are here, and specifically women, is the Level Up Club. We're leveling each other up. We're embracing each other. I love that name. Professor Niall came up with it, but it really does allow, similar to what you guys have accomplished there, for them to come out, right, and join, but also to share and level each other up. And we don't want to be the only ones that made it. We don't want to be the only ones that
No.
can speak to success.
And
You
you
know,
have to be able to reach back down and pull back up. And
Yeah.
that's what has been missing. I mean, I'm the
Yes.
co-director of Recycling Back Dollars, and that's what we talk about. Reaching down, supporting each other no matter
Paying
where
it
we
forward.
are, making
Yes.
sure that we're uplifting everyone. And as you say, leveling everyone up. So, because when
Yes.
one succeeds, we all succeed,
All
right?
of us.
All of us
All of
succeed.
us.
So
Yes.
it's imperative in this day and age that we're living in that we as Black people start to
Yes.
embrace each other, love each other, and want
Yes.
everyone to be successful. That's why we have
Yeah.
women's
Yeah.
groups and business, and women
Yes.
seem to do it extremely well, right? You are
Yes.
everyone's a sister, and if I'm here,
Yes.
I need you to be up here with me,
I
right?
got you.
Yes.
Exactly.
you
I
notice
completely agree. It's so
you notice
important.
I call you Councilwoman because I know you're gonna win. Okay, you're gonna get all the
Yes.
support from all of us, and you will win. And we are going to be there for you. Now, I don't know if we had told you a little bit about Crystal's background, Superwoman Crystal, my super consultant.
I've read it. I've seen
But
it,
she
and I
does
feel it.
accounting,
Yes.
bookkeeping. She does forensics on those books. So in the pandemic, when many of the small businesses they couldn't cut it with a PPP, their idle or their
Yes.
grants, she was there
Mhm.
helping them with the books and helping them, get the balance sheet, the profit and loss together. So we
Absolutely.
can
Yes.
The
bring that
941s,
flavor.
all
Yes.
of the supporting documentation.
Oh
I love what
yes.
Michelle said earlier. I literally keep a digital file of my P&Ls, my latest tax returns,
Mm-hmm.
everything in one file, because any grant that I apply for, they're going to ask for it. Any
Mm-hmm.
certification that
Yeah.
I'm applying for, they're going to ask for it. So it's
Mhm.
the 6th degree, like the latest and greatest. And if I'm past a quarter, I'm calling my accountant, like, I need the latest P&L, I need the general ledger, because I
Right.
know that someone is going to want the latest information,
I
and
just got
modeling
an
it
idea while
is
you're
important.
talking. I just got an
Hmm.
idea. Your HR company is called 6 Degrees, right?
Yes.
You can call the support services that we're providing you using Small Biz Pro and everything, 6 degree of
Yes.
documentation. How about that? How about
Because we're all connected, and so is that paperwork.
I
We're
Right,
all
love it.
connected.
exactly.
That's a
I
And
love
global concept.
and
Yes,
my
that's a
area,
global concept.
it's a global,
Yes.
and one of the things, we always talk about financial literacy from a personal level, but in my business, is also financial literacy from a business level
Yes.
space as well.
Yes.
So that's really what I focus on is
Yes.
understanding how money works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding
So
how
important.
I was listening to Warren Buffett the other day, and they were saying, "How do you make $1 million?" And he was explaining his life, and it's really about understanding how money works. That's
Yeah.
all. There was no magical formula that he
Yeah.
became
Right.
wealthy. He just
Yes.
understood how money works.
Yeah.
And I love that you shared that story, especially about Warren Buffett. I am a single mom. I bought a property here a year and a half ago at the height of COVID as a self-employed person, right? High sevens. And when you have full docs, right? That's your personal and your business docs.
Mhm.
So 5 years of tax returns are required, 5 years of individual personal tax returns. So it isn't just about the score. I told the girls, there's so much more to
Yeah.
qualifying and getting to the finish line, right?
Mhm.
Because the underwriter is God. He's going to ask you for
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he stopped short of asking me for my 7th grade report card. I was looking for it though, but he asked for everything. I was like, I need to find my 7th grade report card because this guy's gonna ask for it. But the point was that I had it, and I
Yeah.
had it, and I knew to have it 5 years before,
Yeah.
right? And I knew that it would serve me, and no one knew where the market would be when it was time to buy. No one knew that and people were bidding $50,000 over and above cash.
Yes.
So
Yes.
what does that mean for someone who's purchasing on a loan? Everything has to be T's crossed, I's dotted.
Everything. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the escrow officer that came to my home to fill out the documents, and I asked her to say this in front of my daughters. She said, I followed your file for 47 days.
Wow.
And why is because first, I very rarely, as an escrow officer, 25 years here, have done a loan for an individual, let alone a woman, let alone an African-American woman.
Wow.
I had to meet you.
Wow.
I had to meet you.
They're actually admitting that. Wow.
She acknowledged that because she understood and knew what it would take because she's watched these processes in the middle of escrow fall apart.
Wow.
So for an African-American woman, this is when the EEO information starts to come in, right?
Yeah.
That's when she saw I was an African-American woman. She said, I want this file. I need to meet this woman. I've been here for 25 years. I needed to know. And then, of course, I talked about the campaign. And
Yeah, you need her to support
important.
that campaign.
but it was powerful to see that someone who's been in this industry, right, that's going to make the deal close, could see me in paperwork.
Yes.
Right? I was bankable.
Amazing. You know, that's a great story you just told right there.
With people.
That's a great story you told, because a lot of us as entrepreneurs and small businesses, we don't think that our paperwork speaks on behalf of us. We don't think that, but it does.
It speaks volumes.
Yes.
The bankable point that you made earlier, Crystal, was so important because closing it, right? Okay, I'll lock that up. Now it's time to buy a building. Now it's time to franchise. I trademarked right after that. Right now we get to the next goal. But the credibility of being a homeowner in this community was certainly a subject matter brought up in the campaign. It was,
I'm sure.
Are you a homeowner here?
Yeah.
Because they're going to want to come for you, no matter the color. This is in their mind fair game.
Yeah.
So I absolutely had to check that box. Right. Not only am I a homeowner, I'm a business owner. I save jobs. I've raised kids here. I'm rooted in this community.
You're a stakeholder.
Invested in the results.
You're a stakeholder in that community. And that's why it's so important that when we are stakeholders, we understand how much power that brings to your voice. You now can use that voice because you represent the whole of the community, and they're not seeing you as a transit in that community.
And I'm not a carpetbagger. I'm invested. If you're a woman and you said you raised your kids here, right, and now they're positioned because of your sacrifice to live here, that's credibility.
Right.
Yeah.
So everything else gets to fall away, right? The optics, the obvious, or what they think is obvious, right?
Yeah.
And so it's important to be able to get out, connect, communicate that, share the story. And I'm very transparent about who I am. You just have to follow my social media and you kind of get a clear picture of what and who is important to me. But it is important that when I'm speaking to someone that's not from here, what the landscape is like and why we have to do it differently than someone maybe in an area where we've already checked that box and have someone that looks like us at the table.
Councilwoman, the more you speak is the more I'm falling in love with you. And I can just imagine your constituents doing the same, you know? So we know that you're going to get to where you're going because you've got a mission, you've got a vision, and you've got that focus. Purpose. You see that pain point and you're going to solve it. So we're excited.
So are there any other, once you win this election, are there any other visions out there that's bigger than the councilwoman?
Aspirations. So everything is always tied to my kids and their needs. They're headed into college, right? But serving my community right now, especially with this small business crisis, and being able to, like we talked about before, build the credibility. If there is a larger aspiration that comes from this, I want to be able to have had credibility at that seat first and say, now this is what I did when I served at the city. And so I try to like crawl before I walk kind
Okay,
of
good,
thing,
good.
right? And so that was important for me to build my credibility first to be able to become councilwoman because of what I've accomplished here as an individual. And then if anything else presents itself, and it always does, right? That's just the universe. So we'll see. So
Crystal,
I never say never.
All righty then.
Crystal, you know what I'm hearing here, Crystal?
What?
I'm hearing a book from her on how to become a council person
Well,
or a congressperson, because what you're saying is so crucial. A lot of politicians, they don't think about that. But you got to build that foundation. You got to build that infrastructure. You
well,
got to do things the way you're
You
doing,
have to
building
do
your
the work.
credibility and everything.
and
You have to do the
this
work.
past election that we had, we have now 5 women supervisors across the country with
Yeah,
Holly Mitchell.
yeah.
Obviously,
Yes,
we have our first vice president that's a woman. It's just so many
yes.
firsts that
I
took
just saw
place.
Catherine Barger, our supervisor that represents us, at a groundbreaking on Monday for the first homeless shelter in our community. We've been in existence since December 15th, 1988, 6 months before I graduated high school. And we just broke ground on our first homeless shelter. So the evolution about the type of candidate isn't the only thing that is evolving here, that we're growing into a community that is more accepting and helpful to our fellow neighbor. And so I got to see her and chat for a moment, but that was a huge milestone for us to be able to even be a groundbreaking for that. So we're making a lot
And
of inroads here.
that's fantastic. I belong to a ski club called Four Seasons West, and our president for a number of years, I think she was president for over 20 years, Jerry Boyles. She's from Santa Clarita, and probably at the time,
Share. Yes,
right. Yeah, so it's
tell her.
probably wasn't many. I think she might at that time,
Yes,
but she was there. I think I started
right.
skiing in 1990 in the 90s, and she was the president for the ski club to 2004. She lives and she still lives in Santa Clarita, but I think at that
Yeah.
time she was one, maybe one or two.
Far and few between.
Yeah,
When I came 12 years ago, if I went into a store and saw someone else, I was like, hi, hi. I couldn't wait to say hi, right? Now it is much more commonplace.
that's good.
My kids are still the only ones on their teams that look like them. They're
Hmm.
elite athletes here in travel and in their high schools, but it's growing. And so it is important that when you come to a new community that you see someone, you look for your tribe when you go somewhere new, right?
Oh yes.
You look
Oh yeah.
for who looks like you, and representation is important. So for
Right. When I
me,
lived in the valley,
um,
yeah, I was always looking
mhm,
for, oh hey, in the
yes,
supermarket,
hi.
hey.
And for me, it was where's the hair salon, and I had to. True. I just found a hairdresser here after 12 years.
Wow.
Outside of that, I was on my own, and then I have a braider that drives from Lancaster to do my daughter's hair. So it's that self-care part I'm just now getting back into. I have a salon appointment. I get I get touched on, and that for us that was so important that happened, and it just happened for me in my 12th year living here.
Yeah, I had to come.
Michelle, you need to set up a facility there in Santa Clarita.
Yeah, when I was in the
Yes,
Need to
valley,
expand out.
we understand.
Yes.
yes,
When I was in the valley, I had to come back over the hill. There was nothing. Nothing. I have friends that live in the
right.
valley.
We have to
Nothing.
travel for the things that are
Yeah.
specific to us. We have
Yeah.
to do the things that are important to us in a different way. But I think when people hear that is not much different than who they are, then they embrace you. So I'm Filipino and Black. There's a strong Filipino community here that
Yeah.
has embraced me and has amplified my campaign. And we have a seafood supermarket that's about to open up here. I'll be at the groundbreaking. Shaq's opening a restaurant here. I'll be at the ribbon cutting. So there's so much representation of the growth in business that's happening too.
Well, fantastic. You two ladies are absolutely wonderful. We could be on here forever, but I guess we have to come to a
Thank you.
close. But you guys are awesome. Michelle, definitely, I will send you over Selena's information. I
Great.
think she would be awesome to speak with the the Black Women's Network. You're such an amazing person, Michelle. I'm just so honored to
Thank
know
you.
you. As long as I've known you, and Selena, I hope I can embrace you in my world.
Absolutely.
Because I
I
think
look
you're just
forward to that.
pretty awesome. I can introduce
Thank
you to
you.
some more friends of ours and other women's groups that we have that we were there to support you. I love your
And I'll
energy.
introduce you to the Level Up Club here because
All
we're
righty,
doing that.
I'm ready.
Thank you
I
again,
am
Gilbert, for extending this to me.
I
I
am
so
just
appreciate
so
you.
in awe right now of you two women. You two women are so phenomenal. My co-host, she already knows she's phenomenal. I put on her cape on her every day. So she's phenomenal. But you two ladies, man, what you guys are doing in the community, what you're doing for women, and what you're doing for economic development is so phenomenal. So
And
both of you,
legacy.
yeah, and legacy, exactly.
Yes.
Both of you are welcome back anytime, and I'm serious about that. We want to welcome
Yes,
you
I'll
back.
take you up on that as the
Please
campaign gets
do.
Thank you.
closer.
Please do.
November
So,
8th is midterms.
yes.
Okay.
Definitely share the
And,
story.
So
and I'll I'm
just so
sorry.
you know, this video is gonna be on YouTube, so the world can see it, and you guys can also use this video as
I will
marketing
share it on my
material.
link tree.
Yes, use it as
Absolutely.
Okay.
marketing material. So
I will
we're
send it over
excited.
to both of you, as well as we're hosted on podcast network as well. So it's iTunes and I think 10 different podcast channels. So I'll put it up tonight. And so wonderful. I just
Thank you.
Michelle,
Do you ladies?
congratulations on 40 years in business and love
you.
you, love you, love you, love you. Selena,
Thank you.
Do you
awesome.
Thank
I'm
ladies
you.
want to
looking
give us
forward.
some contact information so we can put it in the chat so folks can...
I am looking forward to celebrating you becoming councilwoman in Santa Clarita.
Yes.
It's just gonna happen. There would be no way they can't vote for you. Just no
Thank you
way.
so much.
Uh,
And I'll keep you posted, and I'll keep posting all the events, and we are growing, and from a grassroots to a real positive campaign with a purpose to bring people together. So thank you guys
Yeah,
so
then
much.
send me I'll reach back out. I think you have my email address, but when I send this to you,
Yes.
whatever you want us to blast out for you, I have a pretty extensive network and I love to support you as however we can. I mean, Los Angeles, those of us down here are we're huge, right? Because we spanned
Yes.
out all over the place. I was telling my sister and I were talking the other day. It was I do a couple of youth programs in Los Angeles. I teach kids how to be entrepreneurs. I do that program with the Los Angeles Urban League. We do a biz camp every summer, but as well as on the
Oh, I love
weekends,
that.
I work with a program called Pete Brown, and we teach kids how to play tennis. And the kids come from everywhere. So we have kids that are actually from the Valley, Santa Clarita, Calabasas, Ventura.
Yes.
We have kids from Riverside. They come up on the weekend to play tennis with our kids. And so
I
our
love that.
arms reach far. We reach far because for me, it's
I
about
love it.
kids and making sure it's a better place for them. So
Yeah.
I do have a
Yes.
network outside of the Los Angeles proper. And it extends. Gilbert is out in the San Gabriel area valley. So however we can help,
Well, I can't wait for you guys to meet my girls, because if you are impressed with me, I'm really the black sheep of the family because they're so phenomenal. My daughter just received a full scholarship award, merit award, even though she's top 100 in the country for softball, to St. Lawrence in New York.
awesome.
And so
Yeah.
Wow.
Hofstra, they're all coming and calling for the academics. And so I definitely can't wait to share their story as well. And so I was just a
And what?
vessel, but definitely
Oh
proud of
well,
them.
you did well. I'm sure you did well. And your other daughters, what? Two of them in college or
So
one?
I have a junior in college, so she's 21.
Wow.
Mia is a senior at Saugus High School, and she's the one that's received numerous, and she'll let us know. She'll have a press conference about her decision. And then Morgan is 6'3". She's a volleyball player, and she's a sophomore.
Oh,
All
Okay.
A's.
awesome.
All of them honor students. Yeah.
And congratulations. I know you must be
Thank
one
you.
proud mama.
Yeah.
I am.
So
That's my
Selena,
biggest accomplishment.
Selena, is there a phone number or an email you
Yes.
want us to put in here so folks can
Yes.
contact you? What's the phone
Absolutely.
number?
So I'm going to give you the 6 Degrees number is 661 is
Uh-huh.
the area code.
Uh-huh.
432-1088. Goes right to 6 Degrees. And
Beautiful.
then the email is 6 degreeshr@gmail.com.
So DEGREES,
Yeah.
right? 6
HR
degrees
at
HR.
Gmail. And then and then the campaign website or the campaign email is Selina Thomas for City Council @gmail.com.
Awesome.
Okay, beautiful. And Michelle, how about you?
Okay, I'll give you my website, Michelle
Yes.
Moorebell, MichelleMoorebell.com. Email hello
I love it.
at michellemoorebell.com.
Okay,
That's
let
beautiful.
me have it again. Let me hear it again, Michelle.
Website, michellemoorebell.com. Email hello at michellemoorebell.com.
I love it.
Love that. Would never thought about that, but what's such a better email than info
You
or
won't forget it.
contact? Hello.
Yes. You will
So
not forget it.
hello at michellemoorebell.com, right?
Yes, that's
I
correct.
love it. Man,
And I
you
just
are
want to say one more thing real quick, that I think we
yes.
should reach out to our peers and show some sympathy, even though we may be struggling or going through things, well, not struggling, but just surviving. But we
Yeah.
just do have to
Yes.
reach out to our peers and see how they are doing.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
especially during this time because
Absolutely.
you never know what's going on. And I also want to send prayers and blessings to the men and women and children that have been displaced in the
Yes.
Ukraine.
Yes,
It's
Yes.
just
It's awful.
devastating that in 2022 what we're watching, we've read and heard what took place in 1940. Never thought in my lifetime, but then again, I would have never thought what I saw 2 years ago in my lifetime either in the
Right.
in the DC. So it's just so many things going on, but there's so much pain in this world. And
Yeah.
so sending out prayers and blessings to everyone around the world, and
Yeah.
that we are supporting them,
For peace.
and that our hearts go out to them. Also prayers and blessings to the loss of oh wow, I just had a brain freeze. Good Lord, where'd it go?
Barbara Morrison.
Yes, Barbara Morrison.
Yes.
Prayers and blessings to Barbara Morrison's family.
Yes,
We
her
lost
Barbara
her.
Morrison died?
Yeah, on
Yes.
Thursday night.
When?
We lost. Yeah,
When?
Thursday night.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah,
I
we
did
lost
not
her.
know
So
that.
that what an icon lady.
Oh, yeah.
After she had her legs amputated for diabetes, I think she came back with more vim and vigor than she had before then.
Oh
and
wow.
and so she's resting in heaven now, and so prayers and blessings to her family and her extended family,
Yeah.
Lamert Park Village, because they are hurting. So we're sending our prayers and blessings to all those out there. Much love. Maxine, welcome to the Business Zone. We haven't seen you in a long time. Diane, thank you for showing up. I know you came from Michelle, but thank you for coming. And yeah, you got a good support team, Miss Michelle.
Wow.
Beautiful
That's
ladies.
amazing.
So we went, and Miss Selena, you go out and be Cinderella tonight and just kill him. Uh-oh, did we lose her? All righty, everyone.
Well,
Yeah,
you all
good.
have a great platform. Thank you again for allowing me to share.
Oh, I've
Thank
been
you,
wanting to hear.
Michelle.
I've been wanting. I can't even hold on. Oh, there you go. I have
Sorry about
been
that.
dying to get you here. So thank you so much, both of you, for coming on to the show.
Thank
We are
you.
so happy to have you. It was a light for the entire week for me, and I look forward to when you both will be back.
Yes.
Look forward to supporting you, Selena, and
Thank
Miss
you.
Michelle. You know, you're in my heart. So, however we need to support you, we're here for you. So, with
You.
I wanna make a shout out to one of Councilwoman's friend, Councilwoman Selina Thomas's friend. That
Yeah.
is, he's a big support for her and a client of mine as well. I coached her in her business. Her name is Nielle Cook, and she is phenomenal. I'm sure she's listening to the show right now,
I
right?
hope so.
Right,
I'm supposed to
Selena?
see her later tonight. She's supposed to be at the
Yeah,
ball with me, so she may be getting dressed. But
yes,
well, we're
she's
gonna
been
let you go
incredible.
get dressed so
yeah.
you can be beautiful tonight as well. But have a
Thank you.
fantastic time tonight and enjoy
Thank
every
you.
ounce of this journey that you're on. God is blessing you,
We're here for you.
and we're
We're
We'll
here
here
for
for
continue
you.
to
you.
share. I appreciate
And,
that and all the
and
support.
Michelle,
Thank you guys so much.
let me know what else what other celebrational things are on the agenda for the 40 years.
Yes,
And
Okay.
Michelle.
Oh
Certainly
yes,
Yes,
please
will.
send that to
Michelle.
me. Yes.
Yes, will do. Definitely. And
And
thank you
Thank
guys.
you,
Camilla, Blair,
everybody.
thank you. Diane, thank you. With that, we're going to sign off. But before we do, everyone go over to the Business Zone on YouTube and hit the subscribe button so you will get notifications every week of another great show that we have. Next week, we are honored to have Miss Karen Blackwell. She is a
Yeah,
dynamo in the business space, procurement
yeah.
space, and she's going to come on and talk about her journey and sharing. I didn't even know what I know about her now when I first met her. That is just incredible. She's worked with City Hall, with the mayor and Nestle. So you guys tune back in next week to have a conversation with Miss Karen Blackwell. She's an awesome businesswoman in the city of Los Angeles as well.
So
Can't wait
much
to see that.
respect to all you phenomenal women, and happy Women History Month. You guys are going to flourish. You guys are going to foster and grow, and the Business Zone is here to help you guys. So just want to let you know.
Blessings
Thank
to all.
you.
Thank you,
Blessings.
guys.
Selena, can you send us a picture or post it on your Facebook how beautiful you're going to look tonight?
Oh
Yes,
yes, I will. I will
yes,
send you a
yes.
picture. Yes,
We
I will
want to
post
see.
it.
We want to see that
I'll be flagged.
Cinderella
Yeah,
outfit.
Ron is home now. He's getting dressed, and so
All
we
right.
can't wait.
We're going to
We
let you
love to
go
get
get
dressed up.
dressed. I know as a
Thank you,
woman, you
guys.
need to have
Bye,
time.
Selena. Nice to meet
Bye.
you.
Nice to meet you, Michelle.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank,
See
thank you,
Bye.
guys. So
Bye-bye.
we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and sign out now. But Michelle, if you want to stay on, you could stay on, and we could talk some more. So we'll see you guys next week, our supporters and viewers. We'll see you next week on the Business Zone, 3 o'clock every Friday. So tune into this great station to YouTube Live or Facebook Live. We're out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.